And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening is an actress, a poet, horror, comedy, drama. She's done it all. Ladies and gentlemen, give a welcome to Ilene Sullivan. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm doing very well tonight amid this crummy, rainy evening out here. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling energized.
I'm happy to hear that. It's over here. I'm in New Jersey, so it's
Yeah,
raining
yeah.
too. It's raining too.
Um, yeah. So I'm delighted to be on your show. It's
It's
pretty
it's
exciting.
uh it's an honor to have you. I know you have a brand new project coming out, Bonds of Grief, coming out soon.
Yeah, the movie premiere is May 25th, at the Regal United Cinemas big movie complex theater on Grant Avenue in Pennsylvania. So we're all excited about that. I have not seen any of it. I know there's a trailer out, but I opted not to watch the trailer because I want to be hit with it fresh, on the big screen with everybody and just see it for what it is. I heard it's quite compelling, so I'm
Yes.
really I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I have the link here. I'm gonna watch it tonight. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna be one of the very first privileged to
very
watch it.
first.
So I can't wait. I set everything up so I can be done so I can give my full attention to it. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's a movie that you really need to give your attention to.
Yes.
Um, I think it's going to be great. We have wonderful people in the cast. We've had a wonderful production team. So I think it's going to be a win-win.
I can imagine. I'm I'm crossing my fingers. Are you able to talk about your character? Can we learn a little bit about what can we expect?
I don't want to give too much of it away. I play a mom.
Okay.
Um, so I'm the mom, and my daughter is she's concerned about me. And I'm just trying to protect her, and trying to protect her from some of the realities of the situation,
Got it.
and probably people who have children can relate to a lot of what's going to be going on in the film. But as you will see, as everybody will see, in some of the other scenes in the movies, obviously from the title, you might have an idea
Yeah.
of what's permeating through the movie, um, and that can affect people, different people in different ways. So it's a very personal journey, I think. I think it was a personal journey for the cast.
Got it.
And I'm sure that everybody was relating to it in different ways, which is one of the things I really liked about the script.
Got it.
Very good
Was it
script.
was it have you ever played such a role before or is this your first time playing this role?
I've played moms before. Um, this is definitely a drama. It's not a horror movie. It's not definitely not a comedy, um, and it's not a thriller. So I've done mostly thrillers and horror movies. I mean, over the years, I've done everything, but most recently, this would be a little off the normal beaten
Got it.
path. So I was really happy to get the part.
Got it. Was there any that you had to do like was it a difficult preparing for this role? Was it challenging? Did you
It
have
is
because it
challenging.
is a drama like you said and
It is a drama, but I think again the personal connection. I don't want to say it made it easy, but certainly I could certainly pull from real life, um, as you can with most parts that you do, probably. And I want to say, people have a real misconception, I think, sometimes when you People ask me a lot, if it's like, let's say, a horror movie,
Yeah.
or or people see people playing like the bad guy, or the evil character, well, how do you pull from that? That's not, and it's like, well, in my experience, in my opinion, human beings are comprised of so many different levels and have so many um, bits and pieces in your life that you might be surprised where a lot of that impetus can come from. It may not be, have I ever killed somebody? No,
No.
I've never actually killed someone. But can you find something in your life? Can you find something that might relate to how you might process that? So a lot of characters are not as glossy as they might seem, that there is um, some work to be done, and there is some thought to behind that goes into creating, for me, creating a character. Usually it's very organic. I think I'm pretty fortunate that if I read a script and I get a character, it kind of clicks right away, and I just very quickly just find, segue into that and find that, and channel what I need to, whether it's the look comes really quickly for me. So usually that's what I do. I develop what I think that, the look of the character is, and then I kind of go from
Appearance.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start acting? Like what was that like? What made you dive into this world and of imagination that you can essentially be anyone you choose to be?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Um, I'm by nature, and some people might laugh at this, but by nature, I am kind of shy, more shy or more withdrawn. But boy, you put me on put me on that stage, or put me in front of a camera, and it just kind of all changes. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I started out as a stage actress,
Oh,
so I did mostly theater work. And one day, some friends of mine were putting together a local film, um, and they were looking for people. And I was like, yeah, I'm around. I'll do it, and I'll be in it. And it was fun, and it was wacky, and it was over the top. And you're working with people that you know. Um, and it just sort of spiraled. I just connected with a lot of people. Networking is really important. Nowadays on Facebook or Instagram, you have
mhm.
groups, all these groups, and frankly, that's where I get a lot of my work, is from just hooking into these groups, networking with people. You work with one person, you go on Facebook, you find out you've got all these mutual friends, you friend somebody, um, and it just kind of spirals from there. In that regard, I think I've been, kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Word of mouth, people seem to like to work with me. I'm nice. I'm professional. I take my work very seriously. And I think people respect that, and they respect me. And, and that generates project after project.
I love that. I love that. Is there any particular early memory of yours that like you can think of and resonates within yourself to be like, okay, this is why I want to do this? Like, is it an inspiration, a trigger?
Um,
Like for me, like, go ahead.
no,
Yeah.
go ahead. No, ahead. Tell
No,
me,
like,
tell me you.
like for me, like when I first like this, like the podcast, right? 3 years in the making. And I've always wanted to do it. And I now that I've been years in, like I keep going through like this memory of like I'm driving down with my grandma and we were just listening to the radio and how people had some, back then, uh radio was, I felt like it was more meaning. Like it wasn't just having a conversation to get listeners, but
Hmm.
more a conversation for progression and get the word out there and help. So like, and when I come back to here, and like, this is why I fell in love with this. This is why I one day I just pulled the trigger and started doing this.
Yeah. Um, well, my parents were very um into theater and the arts. And we used to go see shows all the time. And I think like my dad was in the army, and there was some sort of um, like army group that did
Hmm.
shows and stuff. Um, and I remember they used to have like we used to have all of like the show records from musicals. It was all musicals, and I remember my favorite time was when nobody was home, and I would put these records, these various show records, on the record player, and I would just like sing and dance
Yeah,
around the house
that's
when
awesome.
no one was there. And not that I'm a great singer or anything, but I just loved it. And like for my birthday every year, what I wanted to do was go see a show. So we would always go see a show.
Nice.
Um, and it's interesting because, I'm not a musical theater major, and I'm not, like I said, I can sing, but I'm not a singer per se,
Hmm.
and I never really gravitated to that end of production, musical theater.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I love it. I like to go see it, and I enjoy it immensely. Um, but that was not something I really felt comfortable enough doing. But we always had it going on, and so probably, it was probably that. And I used to, um, as a kid early on in school, I was a pretty good writer. And I know my teachers would always showcase my writings in the various like school newspapers or whatever. And we had these um, show contests, and they would. I remember I had this one teacher, and I don't remember her name, but um, she really prompted me to enter this contest, where I had to get up on the stage and perform a poem or whatever it was. And I remember my mom and I practicing and practicing. And when I got up on the stage and did it, man, it was
Amazing.
magic. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah,
Yes.
it was just, and it still is, it's never lost that for me.
Amazing.
I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, by the way.
You're welcome.
You mentioned writing. Have you ever tried to produce or write a script of some sort?
No. And people ask me, I don't think that I have that type of writing
Yeah.
talent, because it's different than a spoken word or poetry. Um, I don't know that I would know where to put all this stuff.
Yeah.
You
Organize
know,
the structure. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
a
don't.
very
I see
tedious
like a
job.
storyboard like that. I don't think I could. Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm okay with that. I might like to direct something.
Nice.
Um, Putting that out there for anybody that's, you know. But yeah, um, and I'm always impressed with um, um, production value, um, especially like makeup. Like we had a fabulous makeup artist on the Bonds of Grief production. She was fantastic. Um, and I'm always enthralled with the whole like special effects makeup and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
don't think I would go into it myself, but I love watching it. I love, you know, seeing people create things out of nothing, and it's like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
that's so cool. That's so cool. So there's a lot of cool things that happen, behind the scenes, production value, props, location, um, stuff like that, and everybody is important, and everybody's job makes you look good, and makes the final film look good. But absolutely kudos to everybody that
Nice.
makes that happen.
Nice. That's awesome. Is there you've done numerous genres throughout the years,
Mm,
right? Is there anyone in particular that's your favorite?
I get asked that a lot too, but no, no, I don't have a favorite. If the script hits me and the part hits me, and especially if it's with people who you've worked with before, or
Yeah.
that you know of, or people that you want to work with. I just got a very nice part in a fairly bigger budget film, which I can't mention
Congratulations.
at the
Let's go.
moment. Thank you.
Congratulations.
But I'm very excited about it. And and it's with people that I haven't necessarily worked with before, but I followed them. I checked them out. I saw what they were doing, and I kept it going. I kept it going. I just, um,
Nice.
and they were like, yeah, we want you for this part.
It's
So,
exciting.
it is exciting, and you never know where those opportunities might come from,
Yeah.
and so even if you haven't done a particular genre, or you've never, like, I've done some radio stuff, I've done some voiceover work, I've done um, a test pilot for an animated cartoon that's supposed to be coming out. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so um, I just relish every opportunity and every part and every character, because they're all good and they're all important, and it just makes you better.
I love it. I love the fact that like you're excited to do this.
I'm
Like
so
there
excited.
there's people that been in the industry and I've talked to numerous times, and they're just like that fire, right? That connection with what you want to do is not in them anymore. But here you are, like just
I
excited.
know.
You're living. You're living. That's the
I
most.
know. I'll tell
Yeah.
you, but you should see me when I don't work, when I don't have anything. Boy, the flip side is not pretty.
No, I get it. It's a hustle. It's a hustle.
And the depression, it's like, I'm not working. Nobody wants me. Nobody loves me. They didn't cast me. There's all of that too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't want to feel that I'm ever jaded about getting work,
Mhm.
um, or that I'm ever over it,
Mhm.
Uh-huh. My dog has joined me.
All right. No, but that's great because even like I think for most actors, they just gotta like use their noggin because we live in a world with social media is everything. So like you can create your own skit on social media. Constantly put yourself out there so people can see what you're doing or what you're capable of doing rather than,
Absolutely.
continue like back then we didn't have um such platforms, right?
Yeah.
We had to go to auditions and wait for a call back or wait if you had an agent, wait for your agent. But now with social media, like those who know how to use it, those who know how to use it as a tool for to benefit themselves. Other people just use it as, crap. Pardon my
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
But if you know how to use it, you know, uh there's many people that focus platforms just on actors podcasting. Just put yourself out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said before, that's what I've done. Um, and I think, and some people sort of poo-poo that, and think that it's either not professional, or it's beneath them, or whatever their choices are. That's
Hmm.
that's certainly up to
Hmm.
them. I have found it to be helpful. I don't have an agent. I don't have a manager. Looking for one if anybody out there is interested in repping me. Um, but I've worked with some really wonderful people, and I've gotten some really lovely opportunities. And um, yeah, I mean, I want to try and explore, whatever is out there. And
Yes, yes.
if social media is what's helpful, then so be it.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not gonna.
I worked at I was an operation manager for accounts. I managed like 25 to 50, even more at some point, right? And one of the key purpose of being a successful operation manager is always being in the client's face, right? And I took that idea, that lesson, or whatever you want to call it, right? Philosophy.
Mhm.
And when I have a chance, an opportunity to speak to somebody like yourself or anybody, I put that in front of them. We live in a digital age that you can succeed. You can find it's going to take time to develop, but there's avenues and where you can keep putting yourself out there. That is the key. You want to
Yeah,
succeed, you got to be in people's faces. Build, like you said, network, build relationships. And I think if you know how to use it, and it's a tedious thing because you got this algorithm crap that
yeah, yeah,
that if it's controlled, like that's what some people don't think, that the algorithm actually, if you watch one video, is going to keep giving you that video. So that room for organic exploration, for finding new potential, new things, it's it kind of stops it.
I am. And sometimes I don't know. Sometimes people might think, "Oh, you're making a pest of yourself because you keep, um, you keep liking or you keep um, reaching out." But I uh, I think support is very important
Hmm.
too. This may be off topic, but
Yeah.
um, I think it's very important that we all support each other. I think
Yes.
it's important that we try and if my friends are in a play and it's doable,
Hmm.
and it's nearby, and it's like, I'll come and see you. If other people are in a film and there's a showing, or if it's streaming somewhere, it's like, I'm going to make sure that I watch it and
Yeah.
like it, um it, and because this business, as most people can attest, I mean, it is difficult, and it can really play with your emotions and
Hmm.
your well-being and your
Hmm.
psyche and your mental um, fortitude. And it's important that we build each other up and that we keep each other, um, you know, uh, focused and pumped. And I'm not saying that you can't give healthy criticisms, or
Hmm.
if somebody says, what did you think of my performance, or
Hmm.
it's not that I don't appreciate, um it's not that I don't appreciate that, but there's no room for hate, and there's no room for unkindness,
Hmm.
there's no room for that in my personal life.
Yes.
So that carries over to my professional life as well. If you're not a kind person, if you're not a nice person, if you're not, a professional person,
Hmm.
um, uh, how do you treat your people on set? How do you, what is it like working with X, Y, and Z? Would
Hmm.
you work with that person again? Um, I think those are really important qualities. I think those are really important considerations. Is it worth losing a role, because perhaps that the director or producer or somebody deeply involved, you know, is questionable? Would I give up? I would probably say no, thank you.
Hmm.
And um, So yeah, I mean, so there's certain standards that are important to me,
Mhm.
as a person. And I think it's important for everybody to um, navigate that for themselves,
Mhm.
and however they feel comfortable. But if you're working with me, you will get everything from me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you bring so much volume of truth in what you're saying, because what you've gone through, there's other actors that I've spoken to that have gone through similar things. Like, let's talk about the first one. When you're trying to approach people or for a part, you're being a nuisance. Hell yes, be a nuisance. Annoy them so much until they never forget your name. That when they're developing another product, the first name that pops in your mind is yours. You have to be that way. This game is it's a slither like a snake sometimes,
Mhm.
and you have to develop strong, thick skin. Unfortunately, but you gotta set the presence. You gotta put yourself out there, because next thing you're gonna know, there's people that get agents. Yeah, let's go 10% of what I made just on a commercial, and not educating themselves or don't know the ins and outs. So if you're gonna wait for instead of waiting for somebody, you just gotta go head in. You gotta dive in. If this is your dream, if this is your passion, this is what you envision your life to be, if you want to eat through this, you gotta go out there. You gotta go out there. There's people when I first started, ignored me. They ignored me. They told me stop bothering me. I can mention I have over, I want to say in total almost 170 episodes, including the ones I haven't put out. And there's literally 10 people that when I first started, didn't want me. They didn't want me. They ignored me. And I have them on the podcast. Episode already published. You can't worry about that. People are gonna think whatever they're gonna think, but the most important thing is what you think about yourself, right? When it comes to support, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult that they should support you, give you the opportunity. They should. You know why? Because there's no difference uh between you or somebody who's already on mainstream. There's no difference. The only difference is the bigger the audience. That's all it is.
Right.
They're just waiting for you. Like, I take that as, okay, you didn't believe in me? Let's bet. Wait till I'm gonna do next. Wait till my next. Because people are just waiting for you to hit a certain place so they can say, hey, thank you. Yeah, I always believed in you, right? And that's the hard part. That's the hard part, because you gotta stay humble. You gotta, thank God for the opportunity you're in, and stay humble. Now, you don't want to be like that person. Yeah, you believe me, you didn't even support me, right? Because then you sound bitter, even though you're telling the truth.
Yeah. You don't want to be bitter, and you don't want to be an asshole. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that.
No, you can say yes, an asshole. But you know what? When the truth comes, it's gonna hurt regardless, right? So you rather do your best to be humble, because they deserve it. Like, there's no, trust me, there's no excuse to defend. They're a total asshole. But this is where you gotta try to be better, right? And just keep doing you. Some days it's gonna rain, other days it's gonna pour. And when it pours,
Yeah.
you gotta fight through that mud. But you gotta keep going. Especially if there's something you dreamt for. Or you dreamt and created a reality, and you're doing it. All right. The third thing is, like, when it comes to criticism, everybody's a fucking critic. Everybody's a fucking critic, right? Everyone. And, like, at least for me, in that opinion, like my wife. My wife is a critic. I gotta nitpick what she credits at me or what she doesn't, right? And she means well.
That's
So,
funny.
like, I take her critic super personal, but sometimes I digest them. But, like, for me, I see the people who are in my landscape, who's doing the same thing as me. I don't care. If it's somebody trying to support me, giving me a support and try to because he gave me the view or gave me the support or share, he wants to critique me. No, because you're not doing what I'm doing. If I'm gonna get somebody who critique me, it's somebody who's higher than me. Because for 3 years, it's just been me. It's
Mhm.
just been me. I keep doing it and doing it. And somebody who has never done, I can't listen to somebody who has never done it before because doesn't understand the ins and out, doesn't have the experience. You're just watching it. But just like you can watch this, you can watch anything else. And I'll sit there, I can literally sit there because I'm the editor. I'm, behind the camera, the lens, showing what, and you will know the difference as a viewer. So when I listen to somebody critiquing, I listen to somebody doing something better than me and see what they think of it. That's it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
last, the
Oh,
yeah, and the last thing we mentioned, ethics, self-value. Fucking yes. Fucking yes. You should never degrade yourself or beg for any opportunity, knowing that you damn well will kill that spot. And people need to be put in their place regardless. Doesn't matter if the director, actor, whoever the fuck it may be, you
hmm.
put them in your place. And you set the standards for those who's watching. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
It's yeah, everybody should do that. You never want to put yourself, in that kind of compromising
Hmm.
situation.
Yeah, you gotta
Um,
set the standard.
yeah, and you did make a good point, excuse me, before about being constant, 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 and you might think that you're annoying somebody, but uh, true what you said. You may not get the first part, you may not get the next part, but I send you my what is that? My website, which has, all the stuff on it. I'm on IMDb. And I send that and it's like people will have it. So people keep it on file and,
Hmm.
whether or not it's true, but I've heard, look, you know, you didn't make this one or we can't use you for this one, but we're going to keep your information on file. And, you know, if and when something comes up, and a lot of that is bullshit,
Hmm.
but no, I would say 9 times out of 10, it has come to fruition that I have heard back, from people that I have sent my information to, that I didn't make the first whatever or the next whatever,
Hmm.
but at some point down the road, they've hit me up, so like you were saying, we want to get people to remember you. You want to get, or you can say things like, I sent you my information previously. Would you like me to
Hmm.
send it again? Because maybe they don't have it any longer, or maybe it's, buried so far through emails that they can't look for it. It's like, I'd be happy to send it to you again. Here's my stuff. Um, so, and yeah, it keeps it so so you're going to keep yourself fresh in somebody's mind.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You have to.
Yeah,
You have to, and it's a tedious thing, but
it is, which is why, when people have managers, it's very helpful because they do all that work.
hmm.
It's like, you do it.
Hmm.
You figure out how to send stuff. I'm terrible on the computer. Um, it's just like, oh no, somebody else has to do it. It has to go here and there, and I'm like, I don't know I don't know where it's going. Um, but yeah, I mean, right now things are good. I'm happy to say.
What what other films that you can mention that people could find your acting uh
Oh, well, a lot of my stuff is on YouTube. I've got some things on Prime Video. I guess if you go on YouTube and you put in Ilene Sullivan, you might find, the pop-ups will come. If anybody is interested in hitting me up personally, I can send them links, um,
Got
you
it.
know, to watch my various projects. Some of my videos are on my website under Reels and Videos.
Got it.
So yeah.
Any other future films in the works that are about to be released besides
That are going to be released. Not that I'm aware of. Just Bonds of Grief, May 25th. Tickets are still available.
Was it a heavy how do I say this? Was it a heavy filming? Like
Mm.
was it a lot? Was it back to back?
Well, I'm not in throughout the entire movie.
Okay.
But the scenes that I had, yeah, they were heavy. They were emotional. I mean, the whole film is emotional.
Yeah.
So yeah, if people come out, you're gonna, I mean, yeah, it's gonna hit.
Mhm.
It's gonna hit, I'm sure. Like I said, I haven't seen any of it, but judging by the level of talent and all the performances that I was part of during the filming, it's gonna be something.
Wow. I can imagine. It was a very large cast.
Yeah,
I saw it as because I follow Zay on social media, so like every other day is cast, and it's a large cast, which is
it is. It
I'm
is.
eager to see. I'm eager to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, I can't wait to see it. Well, I'll tell you, Steve Meredith, who wrote the script, is wonderful. I've worked on his scripts before, and Zay, of course, is terrific. I can't say enough about him, and I love
Yes,
working with and Franklin, and I mean, it just everybody is so nuanced in what they do and what they see, through the lens of that camera, and um, they're very good at
what they
bringing
do.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're very good at what they do, and I would work with them on anything,
got it.
and know that it's going to be um, really well done.
Nice. Is there any? Is there any? When it comes to genre, right? Because you've done a few different ones. Is
Mhm.
there anyone easier than the other? Like, is it comedy easier than horror for you? Is like, or just all the same? You just give me the role, give me the script. Let's go do this.
Yeah, I mean, the genre is not the issue. I can do any genre. It would be more qualified as to, let's say, the actual part, the character. Um, that would be really the the factor is, how difficult or how easy is it to get into the skin of this character, um, and find what you need uh, to do it. So the genre is not in and of itself. I'm good with any genre. It would be the individual character.
All right, well, there you have it. One last question before we go.
Sure.
Please tell the people why they should watch this movie when it comes out.
Why should you watch the movie? Well, because I'm sure, I'm sure that the people will be blown away by the level of the performances, the subject matter, which I think everybody can relate to in
Mhm.
some fashion. Um, and I think the quality of the production value, also, I think it's going to look amazing. And, seeing it on a very, very large screen is going to be um, impactful.
Amazing, amazing. I can't wait to see. Um, Before we go, please tell the people where they can find you at.
Oh, thank you. So it's very easy. I couldn't come up with those really wild names that people come up with. I was just like, it's just me, Ilene Sullivan, and Ilene is Ilene. Sullivan. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I have a website. I'm on IMDb Pro / Ilene Sullivan. I should be very easy to find. And like I said, if anybody wants to, hit me up personally, reference that you saw me on this podcast, so I know you're not like a stalker. But I would be happy to, converse with you at, on some level. If anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to hire me, absolutely look me up.
Boom. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go find her, go follow her, go support her, go watch her movies, share, let the world know. These amazing talents like Ilene need support. So make sure you go and do that. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram at Mr.DreamInspireObtain. I'm on Facebook, Mark King Diaz. Go to my website, dreaminspireobtain.com. Go check out my brand new merch. I'm out, guys. And make sure to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, DIOTALK TV. I'm out.